Every month, I generate over $28,600 in passive income from just 7 rental properties. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can buy your first rental property, even if you're a beginner and even if you don't have a ton of money saved up. And if you follow this process, you'll eventually be able to create consistent passive income, giving you the freedom to do what you want, when you want. 90% of millionaires have built their wealth through real estate. Even if you're not investing today, this is something you should start preparing for now. But before I break down how to invest in real estate as a beginner, let's first talk about why real estate is the best investment. One of the simplest and most effective ways to invest in real estate is to buy a property and turn it into a rental. The goal of this real estate investment strategy is straightforward. You purchase a property, then you rent it out to tenants. Their monthly rent covers your monthly mortgage and expenses. Whatever's left over is cash flow, which is your monthly profit. So let's break this down with an example of how this works. Imagine you're looking at a $200,000 house, but you don't have that much cash available just sitting around to purchase this property. So first you go to the bank and secure a mortgage loan. Mortgage is just another word for a home loan. The bank asks for a 10% down payment, so you have to put up $20,000 in cash that you have saved up, and then you can finance the rest. That means that the bank will lend you $180,000 to purchase this property. You next find a tenant who agrees to pay $2,500 per month in rent, plus they also cover all of the utilities. Your monthly mortgage payment is $1,500. So this is the amount of money that you need to send to the bank every month to pay back the mortgage. So there's $1,000 left over after paying the mortgage, but you have to consider there's other costs of owning real estate. So after factoring in the property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, you still clear $500 in profit each and every month. You can use that money for whatever you want, and this is what we call passive income. Not only are you making money every single month, but your tenant is actually paying down your mortgage for you. Over time, once the mortgage is completely paid off, you'll own the property free and clear, and your cash flow will skyrocket since you won't have a mortgage payment anymore. On top of that, real estate appreciates over time. If that same $200,000 house appreciates to $300,000 in value in just a few years, you can go back to that lender and do what's called a cash out refinance. This lets you pull money from the equity in your home, tax-free money that you can use to buy more rental properties and repeat the process. This is tax-free money because it's a loan. It's not considered taxable income since you do have to pay it back eventually. This is one of the ways real estate investors scale their portfolios and create long-term wealth. The more rental properties you have working for you, the more wealth you'll create. Real estate is amazing because you can use leverage to maximize your return on investment. In this example, the property went up in value by 50% from $200,000 to $300,000. But since you only put 10% down and borrowed the rest, your cash investment of $20,000 now becomes worth $120,000, which is a 600% return on your investment. In other words, your investment grew by 6 times the value, while the property value only grew by 50%. This doesn't even factor in the cash flow, the loan paid down, and the tax benefits that you get from owning the real estate. But owning rental properties isn't just about cashing checks and rolling in the profit. There are challenges and headaches that come with managing tenants, doing repairs, and handling your own finances. These do get easier with time and with scale. So before you purchase your first rental property, you want to prepare yourself ahead of time to ensure you're in the best position to succeed with your first real estate investment. Step 1 is to monitor and increase your credit score. Before you get started investing in real estate, you need to know where your credit score stands. If you always pay your bills on time, you probably have a good credit score. But if you miss payments, your score will probably be lower and it could be harder to get approved for a mortgage. Ideally, you want to have a credit score of 700 or higher to secure the best loan terms. Having a higher credit score means that you'll get better interest rates on loans that you take out, which means that you'll save thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. You can check your credit score for free using tools like Credit Karma. Right now, mine is 811. If your credit score needs a boost, here's what you can do. Make sure to pay all of your bills on time. This includes credit card bills, utility bills, car loans, student loans, rent, really anything that you have reoccurring bills with. Set up auto pay on all of your recurring payments so that you don't even have to think about it when those bills become due. It's important to use a credit card, but make sure that you pay it off in full each and every month and don't carry a large balance on it. Treat your credit card like it's a debit card, meaning use it like it's cash. Don't spend money that you don't have. It's very tempting just to pay the minimum amount due on your credit card bill, but that will actually hurt your credit if you don't pay it off in full each and every month. Also, keep your credit utilization low. Don't max out your credit cards. And if you do end up maxing it out, make sure that you pay it off as quickly as possible. Step 2 is to earn and maintain a steady income. Banks love to see that you have a stable source of income before they approve you for a mortgage. So if you have a job and you earn, let's say, $65,000 per year or more, you'll be in a good spot to qualify for an investment property loan. Lenders will typically look at your last 2 years of income and tax returns to decide if they'll give you a loan and how much they'll approve you for. Lenders love W-2 income, so if you're currently employed, you'll definitely have an easier time getting a loan. But what if you don't have stable income? If you're self-employed, work inconsistent jobs, or you haven't been at your job long enough, getting approved for a loan can be tough. But you still have options. Work with a lender that has more flexible loan options. Some lenders specialize in working with self-employed individuals. You can also find a cosigner. A cosigner is someone like a family member who guarantees your loan in case you can't pay. They'll essentially help you qualify for the loan so that it gets approved while you still own the property. You can also save for a larger down payment. The more you put down, the less you have to borrow and the less risky you look to lenders. And of course, you need some cash reserves for your down payment. 20% of the purchase price is a solid amount to have saved up for your first investment property. But if you don't have that saved up yet, don't worry. You can cut unnecessary expenses and save aggressively. This is your future you're talking about. This is your wealth, so take it seriously. I always recommend treating your life like a business. Be acutely aware of what's coming in and what's going out of your bank accounts every single month. If you can't create positive cash flow in your personal life, you'll certainly have a hard time doing it with a rental property. Consider starting a side hustle or a side business to increase your income. After I bought my first rental property, I quickly ran out of cash. So I learned how to flip houses and wholesale real estate. These are some of the quickest ways that you can make quick cash in real estate. Plus, I also earned my real estate license so that I could generate sales commissions, helping my friends and family do deals. If you want to learn valuable skills and learn how to wholesale properties step by step, check out our YouTube channel for some of the most in-depth training on how to wholesale and flip houses so that you can start stacking cash so that you can start buying rental properties a lot faster, even if you're working a full-time job. Step number 3 is to find a great rental property. Keep in mind that not every house will be a good investment. To find a profitable rental property, follow these steps. First, you should look in areas that you know well. Having local knowledge helps you spot the best deals. All real estate is local, and the investors with hyper-local knowledge will always win. Consider working with a real estate agent. An experienced agent can help you find great investment properties, especially if you're busy. Leverage an active agent to send you opportunities and be your boots on the ground. Check new listings every day. Use the local MLS and real estate websites like Zillow and Redfin to track potential deals that are hitting the market. New properties hit the MLS every single day. This is exactly why we've made it our primary acquisition tool in our businesses, but you've got to be proactive about it. So what if you live in an expensive city? If you're in a market like San Francisco, Boston, or Miami, finding a rental property at a reasonable price that cash flows can be very difficult. Instead, consider looking at cities that are within 1 to 2 hours where home prices are more affordable. For example, $1 million home in my market in San Diego would likely cost less than $300,000 for the same property in Memphis, Tennessee. That's why many investors buy in secondary markets where prices are much lower and the returns can be a lot better. You might be wondering, what type of real estate should I be pursuing as a beginning real estate investor? The best types of properties for beginning real estate investors are single-family homes as well as condos and townhomes. I personally avoid condos and townhouses because while they might be cheaper up front and potentially have less maintenance issues, the monthly association fees cut into your profits, and the condo associations may have additional fees and restrictions on renting out your property. Single-family homes are where many investors start, including myself, because they're the most relatable and desirable type of property in all of real estate. Plus, you can get some of the best financing available on single-family homes. Additionally, you can typically have the tenant pay for all of the utilities and even put the utilities in their name when you're renting a single-family home. Step 4 is to run the numbers on any investment property that you're looking to purchase. Before buying, you need to make sure the property cash flows and has a strong return on investment. Running the numbers on your first real estate investment is one of the most important steps to ensuring the property you're buying is a winner. So how do you calculate a property's cash flow? The equation is simply cash flow equals rental income minus expenses. Let's look at an example. So let's say the rent is $2,500 per month. The mortgage is $1,500 per month. Taxes, insurance, and repairs equal $500 per month. That means that your net profit is $500 per month in cash flow. But real estate investing is not just about cash flow. You also need to know how much cash flow that you're generating relative to your total investment in the property. This is where cash on cash return comes into play. Your cash on cash return shows you what percentage of your total investment is returned to you after a year of ownership. The equation for cash on cash return is simple. So cash on cash return equals your annual cash flow divided by your initial investment. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say you invest $50,000 in a property. After a year, you make $4,500 in cash flow. Your return would be $4,500 divided by $50,000, which is a 9% cash on cash return. A 9% cash on cash return is great, depending on where your real estate is located. A good cash on cash return is at least 4%, but ideally you want to be between 8 and 12%. Some real estate markets will yield much higher cash on cash returns than others. Some markets that are poised to appreciate in value much faster than others usually yield lower cash on cash returns. Investors in these markets are betting that they will make up for it in the long term when the property goes up in value. While I tend to buy properties that cash flow on day one, the majority of returns that I've made in real estate came from appreciation. So it's good to have a mix of properties that both cash flow and that are expected to appreciate in value. Step 5 is to get tenants and sign a lease. Once you buy the property, now it's time to find the right tenants. When looking for the right tenant, you want to ask them about their employment history, their rental history, and how long they plan to stay at the property. You might also ask them why they're moving, right? They could be running into an eviction or some other crisis that is requiring them to move from their current residence. You're also going to want to run a credit check to make sure that they have decent credit, and you want to verify that they're currently employed. Check their references and rental history to ask their prior landlords about whether they paid on time and if they'd recommend them as a tenant. Once you approve a tenant, sign a lease agreement. You can find rental agreements online or work with the local real estate agent to make sure everything is legally sound. Investing in rental properties is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but in my opinion, it's a get-rich-for-sure plan. It's certainly one of the best ways to build long-term wealth. Over time, you can create passive income, replace your 9-to-5 job salary with rental cash flow. You can also increase your net worth and hopefully retire early with more financial security than your job could ever provide for you. Even if you're not ready to invest quite yet, start learning and preparing now. Real estate is by far one of the best wealth building tools available to each and every person out there. If the power of investing in real estate is starting to click and the idea of building wealth excites you, I put together a free training that goes into this topic much deeper. At Real Estate Skills, we help new and experienced investors become real estate pros and access the best investment opportunities available today so that you can make smarter investing decisions and create financial freedom so much faster. I'll put the link for the free training in the description of this video so that you can learn more about how you can get started taking action and build your wealth in real estate today. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments. We'll see you in the next video.